Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Glad you guys could make it tonight. And I'm super excited to start talking about more social media. And it's kind of funny that Team Phoenix, that's going to be their call tomorrow too. And I put that out as a suggestion because I think it's been a while since we've done anything like that. And mainly I'm going to be focused on Facebook like pages because frankly, because for me, I connect more with Facebook than I do Instagram. It's just the platform that I enjoy more. I just haven't done enough research into Instagram. I know a lot of people that have successful businesses with Instagram, and if you like Instagram, I totally encourage you to get that training as well. But for me right now, I initially started, Aaron, maybe just if you can mute, just because we can hear a little bit of the background. I think yeah.
How do I do that? Sorry.
Yeah. How do you do that? The bottom left, if you put your cursor on the bottom left, perhaps it should give you an option to mute. Are you on your phone? Oh, there you go. Cool. So yeah, I don't, nothing against Instagram. Instagram's incredible and amazing. And if that's what you do, you should totally study up and do trainings. And I know that there are great trainings and calls on that, but I'm going to focus primarily tonight on Facebook and Facebook like page because for me, when I first came in, I didn't get a like page right away, but then when I was told to, I did. But I didn't really do much over there. In fact, it was such an added thing of stress for me outside of working my full-time job and doing my power hour. It gave me anxiety. And when I had enough money to hire an assistant, I was like, great, I'll give them my like page because I want nothing to do with it, but I know I need it. I need to grow, I need to expand my cold market because my warm market on my Facebook page is kind of tapped out. And so I did. I paid an assistant to do it. And I, Megan had always told us even if you don't have time for it, it takes 10 extra seconds. Copy your post from your personal page and put it on your like page. If you can't do anything else, just do that so that you've got content so that if people do come to your page, they do see content. I couldn't even manage to get myself to do that. So like I said, I did. I paid an assistant. I had her, obviously through training and stuff with me, I had her go through some of my last years of content on my Facebook page and was pull off some content from there. And we set a motivational Monday, a Tuesday transformation. We set sort of themes for every day, and she would go through my old content and then just post it. Okay. So I was kind of doing that. I was super inconsistent, just didn't have passion around it. And lately that started to change for me. I would say more so in the last 6 months, obviously growing my business this year, primarily wanting to focus on growing my business has changed for me. And I see the necessity in it. And I was focusing a lot on my personal page this year because I've got 2,000 plus friends over there that I've built up. I mean, they're a warm market. I haven't even had a chance and time to talk to everybody. I'm going to put all of my focus in there. And I did. And for the first 3-4 months, it really served me well. But then it caught up with me because I wasn't continuing to add to my network. I was again, it's me trying to figure out what to do best with my time. And I guess part of it being stubborn and not doing what I'm told, right? So Power Hour has to include all of those things with adding to your network and building relationships. And I was just trying to dig deep into the building the relationships with people that I already knew, thinking that would be my warmer market to turn over. And so, like I said, it worked for me for a little bit of time, and then it caught up with me about May of this year after 4 months. And what I found was that I was chasing all the same people again and again and again. And people that rightfully, I had a whiteboard full of 50 names from December when that new year hit that were yes, I want this. I had all their names on my whiteboard, and I just kept following up, knowing that, in a few months they would turn. And I would still say probably 15% of them ended up turning. It was finally last month in September when I just cleaned my whole whiteboard and took them all off. And I shot myself in the foot because I wasn't adding to my network. So I was pulling from that same group of people. And now more and more, after being at Summit and hearing about, not putting the product name out there, which frankly gives us all a lot of relief. But for so long, it was like, post your Shakeology picture, let people know what you're doing. Like, you had to tell people what you were doing, and you had to tell them often, because 2% of the people on your Facebook page are actually seeing your stuff on a daily basis. Like, that's the statistic. It is like 2%. And so you have to repeat yourself time and time again. And it starts to feel inauthentic, and more lately it's more about, and I heard this in the beginning too, but I guess, it takes me a while to get it. I have to be told stuff like at least 3 times to get it. So learn from my mistakes. And we're going to be focusing more on like branding yourself and telling your story. And I think that that's what I had trouble with in the beginning, because I didn't hear that in the beginning as much. I heard like, when we go through training, we've got those 10 things that describe who we are. And that's what we want to kind of start sharing with people, right? And it should be like 80-20, 80% of your life and your lifestyle and 20% Beachbody. That's what I was trained. But the truth is, now that I'm learning, it's like none of it should be Beachbody. 100% of it should be you, should be who you are. And we don't have to ever even mention, like, I just actually had somebody who was ready and wanted a personal coach. And I sent her a link to the 21-day fix. And then her response was, oh, I'm not really that into Beachbody. So that she had a poor experience with Beachbody. And that's the part that we can't control, is we can't control somebody else's experience with maybe going online or an infomercial and ordering a Beachbody fitness program and failing at it, or we can't control if they had a bad experience with a previous coach. We can't control whatever they might have been going on in their life at that time, and they really didn't maybe show up, or they didn't follow a nutrition plan. Like, we have no idea what their previous experience with. And the people that are going to work with you, and we hear this time and time again, are because of you. They want to work with you. And then we will get to the point of talking about the tools that we use. And, you have to have the confidence in knowing that Beachbody has the best tools. I mean, I have that confidence. I can strongly say that today. And I'm on day 8 of the Ultimate Reset. And I can even now stand and say, yes, you should all do the Ultimate Reset, which is crazy town. But I won't go there. And so now that it's become more of telling your story, and I think, frankly, because I'm finally comfortable with who I am, and I didn't know who I was before. I thought I wanted to be a health and fitness coach. I started with Beachbody. I need to get this out there, and I need to tell everybody this is what I'm doing, and I need to show doing my workout. And yes, we do, but every post needs to have a story attached with it, needs to be telling the people about who you are and why are you doing it. And so it's taken me this many years of sorting through my own stuff, pushing through workouts that I didn't want to do, or, finishing workouts, drinking my shake every day, and then one day not drinking my shake and feeling the difference. It's connecting with you women who empower me and lift me up, and our Team Phoenix team, and all of the personal development and the books. Like, I needed all of that to figure out who I was, what my story was, and what I was going to share with people. And now feeling more comfortable to do that. And so I'm going through a training right now, social team builder. I know, Erin, you were in that group. I don't know if you decided to move forward with that, but even just in module 2 of the 7 modules, just in week 1, no, not even week 1. It started today. Technically it started today. But I started as soon as I signed up, which was about a week ago. And I can only strongly encourage you guys that when you are ready to make that investment in your business, I will send my downline there for sure. I think it's the smartest place for us to spend our money is in building our cold market. Because one of the things that I heard today, which totally made sense to me, was that you have the people in your world right now, like your family, hopefully your spouses or significant others, your children, your closest friends that absolutely love and adore you and will probably support anything you do. Whether they, buy into what you're doing and buy the product, right, is not important. They love you for who you are and they will support what you're doing. And then you've got your cold market over here, which is what we're going to talk about and what we're going to be focused on growing. These are your avatars. This is your niche market. This is your former self. These are your tribe, your people that you want to be on your team, your cold market. And then in the middle, we have this warm market, which is our personal Facebook friends, our high school friends, our friends that we grew up with, our colleagues and coworkers. And this warm market here are, I wrote it down because it was so good for me anyway. It made so much sense. These are, they're either your friends or your haters, and they're the reason why you're holding back from posting what you really want to say. And that really spoke to me because there's so many times that I'm like hesitant to say what I really want to say, who I really am, because of judgment of those people from 10 or 15 years ago, or from colleagues that I work with, and what will they think? Judge me for even just being a fitness coach, right? Or judge me for getting real and sharing some of my history. So it's been that warm market that's been the detriment for my business this whole time, because I've been trying to speak to them, thinking that those were the people that would want to join me because they know me best. When instead, I can go over to a Facebook like page and I can be totally authentically myself to complete strangers, not having to worry about judgment or anything. They're going to like me and follow me because of who I authentically am. And if we try to mask or hide certain things and pretend to play this role, we're not going to connect with anybody. And if we're not being our true self, there's not going to be that connection. We're not going to be able to build true relationships. And that's what I want, is I want to build true relationships. I truly want to help people grow, not only in their physical fitness and health, but in their life, in their struggles. Grow financially in this business opportunity, and we know that in order to do that, we have to dig deep. And so in order to dig deep, we have to show what's deep inside of us. And that's going to be taking that risk to be open to sharing, your life there. And, when I first started on Like page, and I heard this from my assistant that I hired that does this professionally, you do not need to post twice a day. You just need to post once a day. One thing of value a day. And it was interesting today when I heard from this training, you should post 3 to 5 times a day. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. And it was kind of almost, which is weird, refreshing for me to hear, because I, in the beginning of my business, hated posting. I didn't know what to post, you guys. I was like, oh, I watched the Today Show. I'll share a tip from the Today Show that I got. I love Shalene. She's my mentor. I'll share something about Shalene. It was like I was finding Dancing with the Stars. Yeah, I'm a dancer. And so I'll post something about Dancing with the Stars. And I'm a teacher. I'll post teacher. I had chills, because that is literally what I thought. I was like, I don't know what to post. I don't have anything of value to post. So I'll post these things that are what I enjoy and what I do, and that will be the value that I share, when now I know the value that I can share is my story. The most valuable thing I can share is what I've gone through and how I've gotten through it, or what I'm struggling with, and asking the people that are following me for their help. Another thing that I was heard a ton of is do not position yourself as an expert. It's the worst thing you can do is position yourself as this top high fitness coach and top coach. And I know everything about health and fitness, and you should come to me for health and fitness because I've got it all figured. It's not about that at all. It's literally about just being yourself and showing your struggle, whatever that is, with your dog, being old or being sick, and sharing about that and connecting with other people that might have gone through that, and maybe it's finding support in that. Taylor, I know you're bringing your son and he's getting tested, and like you are starting to share about that stuff. And I hope that you're like feeling relief from that and finding people that can connect with you on that. And I know there has to be relief there because I'm experiencing it myself just by sharing the things that I'm struggling with, and putting it out there. It's relief for me. It's like therapy for me now for somebody that never used to talk. So now I was like, 3 to 5 times. Okay. I'm excited because what I started to do this last really, I would say even just month, 6 weeks that I've committed to getting back to my like page, I was like, well, let me just start at the beginning. I'm not going to overwhelm myself. I'm just going to copy and paste what I'm posting on my personal page onto my like page. That's literally all I'm doing right now, you guys. And there's not action or anything like that. We'll get to all of that, but it's just starting with doing it. It's starting with being consistent. And if you know me or follow me at all, you know that a lot of my stuff that I do share is like a morning motivational thing. I'm not usually a Monday motivational thing. I'm a morning motivational thing because I start my day that way with reading that stuff for me. And I know the people that I want to connect to are the people that need this as well. So that's what I post in the morning. And then I post it on my like page because I know that that's really the audience that I now know I want to connect with. Before I didn't know. And so I was thinking, gosh, like, how am I going to even like throw in fitness and nutrition and these other things if my one post is always this thing? But I feel so passionate about it. So it was kind of a relief to know that actually now on our like page, it's not about it being a business page. It's being your page. You've heard me say, it was on that Team Phoenix call that I co-hosted with Jen, where I always felt so weird about the like page because I didn't feel like a public figure. I didn't want to promote Kris Ashley. Like, it just felt so weird for me. But now that I know that it is just my page, because it's just going to be me sharing my life, sharing my story, and that's enough, is so relieving and so therapeutic. And I feel a big weight lifted off my shoulders knowing that this is the way that I can actually get to the people that I want to help and I do want to build a relationship with. Because friending people on my Facebook page, though we need to continue to do those actions and activities in our power hour, don't stop doing that. What I know now about my like page is that I will eventually be able to create ads that do not cost a lot of money, that can literally target the people that I'm trying to reach. And that is so much a better use of my time than trying to find them maybe friends of friends or in my local county. And I had one experience with one ad that was already successful. And it was my most vulnerable ad of the person I wanted to talk to. And it was successful. I had like 38 shares on it. And I didn't even expect a share, and it was just me being me. And it was just such a relief. So all of that being said, your first call to action is going to be to create a Facebook like page if you don't have one, and obviously your whole business is optional, you guys. It's totally 100% optional. But I can just tell you that I'm listening to coaches, and they're not necessarily top coaches that you've heard their name before, that are having incredible amounts of success by doing affordable ads on Facebook. So if you feel like you have exhausted your warm market, or you don't even necessarily want to dig into your warm market because you don't want to feel salesy, this is going to be an incredible opportunity and way to do that. And I will do everything that I can to bring you guys my training that I'm getting, so you can get started without spending any money, or at least start building your page, and then, or spending, a couple dollars here and there on ads. And then when you're ready, I do encourage you to consider that as an investment. Because as we know, if we aren't investing in our business, you have to invest in your business for it to be a business, right? Or it's a hobby, and that's totally okay too. But I think it's important that if you do want to grow a huge business, you need to be thinking on a larger scale, and you need to be realistic, like, what am I willing to invest in my business? So this whole month, we're going to be talking about the Facebook like page. So join me or don't. It's totally okay. But if you do want to join me, I'm going to give you different call to actions to do between each call, so that you guys can kind of keep up with what I'm doing and go there sooner than later, because as you know, come January, a lot of people are going to be needing our help. And wouldn't it be great to have a lot more people to talk to, a lot more people like yourself, a lot of people coming to you and asking for help instead of you having to invite them. People in the UK, we launch in, oh my gosh, you guys, like 9 days. Wouldn't it be great to have some people in the UK to help them kickstart their business? And Instagram, if you are rocking Instagram, go do it. And you can totally build UK audiences there as well. Like I said, I'm just going to keep it to Facebook like page to keep it simple. So every Monday in October, that's where our calls are going to be focused on, and we'll take it step by step. So raise your hand if you do not yet have a Facebook like page. Okay, that's what I thought. And you guys, if you're not already on Taylor's, I encourage Bond raised his hand. Okay, great. I love it. Taylor, check out her page. Maybe Taylor, you can even drop your link in the chat. Hers is called Adventurous Ones. And I love your content. I think it's great. I think you are speaking to a niche market already. So I think you just need to keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, she has a great one. And you'll notice if you follow Megan at all, a lot of her content is the same on both. So I'm just going to take 2 seconds. I'm going to share my screen with you guys to show you how easy it is if you do not know already. So basically, you go to your Facebook page, you go to the home page, the left-hand side, and look how easy it is. Create a page. Okay, and then this screen's going to pop up. Please do not choose local business. You are not a local business unless you have a storefront. So you can choose public figure would be my recommendation, because that's what all the coaches are doing. I chose at the time, a long time ago, to choose, I chose community. And I've been told in this training, it doesn't really matter what you choose, but if you choose brand or product, people are going to know you're selling something. If you choose a local business, people are going to know you're selling something, and they're going to be less likely to follow you and like you if they're going to feel like they're going to be sold. So I would recommend public figure 100. Like, I really recommend that 100%, but I'm told it doesn't really matter. And I chose community. So you would click on the next one and then just choose the name. And if you can, make it your name. I would just make it your name to make it easy, make it simple. And I'm also told it does not matter what the name is. If you're providing value in content, they're going to follow you because of your value in content and who you are as a person. They're not going to follow you with your name or not. So it's just easier for people to search you if you choose your name. And look, now they have coach option. So you could do that if you wanted to. I don't know. Oh, it probably won't let me. I don't know if how far it'll let me go, but I mean, you guys don't really need me to go through too much more. I just want you to know where the button was. Might have to choose a category. Okay. You could probably be a blogger if you wanted to be. I don't think it matters, your category or your name. I don't know why it won't let me go further, but I just wanted to show you guys where it is so that you're not, okay, there you go, held back. And then obviously you'll add a profile picture. 100% make sure the profile picture is you, your smiling face, your personality, and then the cover photo. We can talk about that a little bit more. I would say don't let that hold you up from opening your page. You can go to Canva and create a cover photo. You can even go to Google, and I did this today, motivational Facebook banner banners. And if you wanted to, just to get your page open, go to images, and you can Google anything for Facebook banners. And this could be your Facebook banner. You cannot grow unless you are willing to change. I mean, just open your storefront with that. Like, that's awesome. And you can go to Canva and open one really simply too. So I just literally Googled motivational Facebook banner. You could do most awesome Facebook banners. And just, you could use one of these, or like I said, you can go to Canva and create one really simply by going here to Facebook cover, or even more. And I think it'll give you more options. If we scroll down, I believe, I haven't been this far down in a while, Facebook event cover. So or there should be like a banner, one of these, Facebook cover, should be that one, and it should be the right sizes. So I just don't want that to hold you guys up from moving forward with that. If you haven't seen, well, I mean, mine's not really a great example just because I did get mine professionally done. You can get it professionally done pretty simply. And if you want to spend, $20 to $30 to get it professionally done, you can. So let me know, and we can talk about some different ways for you guys to do that. It should have maybe your name on it, who you are, maybe like the top 3 words of who you are. It should have great photos that will let people know who you are when they come to your page. So here's what I did when I started this like 6 weeks ago approximately. I have a graphics guy that I work with, he does our calendar and stuff. And I gave him some photos, and I gave him the words that I wanted, and he did this, and I loved what he did. I feel like it tells you that I'm an active mountain girl. I run Spartan races. I'm a dancer. I'm a teacher. I'm approachable. So, that's one example. I'll show you. And I encourage you guys to look at other coaches' examples. Google top coaches if you want. To find some. So obviously her name, right? She is her brand, wife, mama 3, fit foodie, business mentor, fitness instructor, and some photos that are clear and show who she is. We could look up Janelle Summers. I might be spelling that wrong. I never spell her name right. So if you want to see like a top coach and what hers looks like, and again, I encourage you to just Google it. So these were all professionally done, obviously, because she's cut out. Anytime you can have a cutout, it's always great. But figure out what those 3 words are for you. And let me stop sharing my screen. It just says pause share, stop share. Okay. And what's so interesting for me now that I'm starting to go through this training and I'm starting to figure out like who I am, I don't even like my cover photo anymore. Because I have decided that I don't necessarily want to go the direction of using teacher as connecting with people. It's just not what I authentically want to share about. I am not actively dancing as much anymore. That's not who I want to connect with. If I'm sharing my life every day, I'm sharing about relationships. I'm sharing about my recovery. I have my 3 new words. And somebody posted on one of my posts the other day that I really liked, and she just said real talk, which is true. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be, is I want to just real talk. Like I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I don't want to like hide behind anything. I don't want to like sort of say something but mean something else. I just want to like lay it out there. And so that's going to be my new thing. I'm going to talk to my graphics person about creating that new. And I'm like thinking, my gosh, I don't even have health and fitness on there anymore. Like I literally want relationships, recovery, real talk. Click here if you want to chat with me. And then, Yeah, and actually that's the last thing I should have shown you. But when you do open your like page, which is your call to action, it's going to be to put a smiling cover photo there. You can take it as a selfie, doesn't matter, but ideally a white wall. Put a cover photo together. I'm going to encourage you guys to do everything yourself before you spend money and ask somebody else to do it. So whatever that means, Googling ideas or just going into Canva and creating your own. Don't overthink it, just do it. And then you want to put a description. So when you click on the cover photo, there's going to be a description, and that's where you want to be able to welcome people to your page. That's going to be the first thing that they're going to see in their first introduction to you. So create your description. And in your description, you're going to want it to be conversational. And so here's like some top tips for the description that I was given was to make it conversational, to let them know like who you are and what you're going to be speaking about. So it's kind of talking about like probably your pain point or your former self. What's your ideal avatar? What's that person looking for? And you're talking to your experience with that. So here's where I was, oh my God, I was a mom. I was overwhelmed. I was doing everything for the kids and my husband, and I was working weekends, and I was just not taking care of myself. And then I finally tried this workout at home, and I felt so much, whatever your thing might be, then you go into the solution. And then just some tips in doing that. There are recommendations of maybe adding some emojis, not exploding with them, but any way that you can break up the content, because I know for me and like most people, we can't just read this long paragraph of information. I'm going to snooze out after the third sentence. I really will. But if you can put an emoji in there that helps me connect with your personality, or it tells me if you're smiling or if you're, you will someday. You do? You like them now? Lauren's come a long way.
I don't use them as much as you, but I'm using them more.
Good. It just brings in some personality, brings in some lightness. And like I said, it breaks up the text. It makes it easier to read. So I would say at most 3 sentences together, and then you want to break it up with a space. And then maybe you want to do a sentence and break it up with a space, and make it a conversation. Let them know what they're going to get when they come to your page. So yeah, that is primarily your call to action for that. And then the next thing, I'm going to send a link. I will post this replay video to our team page, and we're going to start with a branding quiz. It's an interesting quiz, and I'm going to encourage you to take it twice, because you may get 2 different types, but it breaks down what your brand type is, and it's going to help you from everything from giving you a color scheme, which let me just tell you, mine is not purple and gold. So, and as silly as that may sound, I am now paid for a training where this is his profession, this is what he does, and I have seen hundreds of coaches have success with it if they follow the system. So you better believe I'm going to follow that system. I'm going to pay it forward to you guys, because I believe that if I can humble myself to do that, that will be successful. So I'm going to, even 6 weeks after having my cover photo done and it looking great and it looking professional and it's totally okay, I'm going to redo it. And I'm going to do it with my branding colors. I'm going to do it with my brand of trying to tell my story now through my brand and to that specific person only, and not trying to reach out and help every single human being on this planet, which I would love to in a perfect world. So I'm going to give you a link to the branding quiz. And I did get 2 different responses, or 2 different types that I was, and I agree with both of them. So I'm going to kind of combine those and figure out how I can make that my own. And I encourage you to research some fonts, because fonts are going to be important. As you start to your page, you're going to want to start to brand it and kind of make things look similar. When you do create Canva, or when you are having a call to action for a challenge group or creating events, you might want to stick to a color scheme. You might want to stick to certain fonts. just something to think about. And start posting. So post at least once a day. Post at least once a day, because if you want to start inviting people to your page, you're going to want to have content there. There is so much more about what I want to get to and what I want to share with you guys. So we will get to all of that next week, assuming that you all come here with your like page, your photo, your banner, your description, and posting once a day on that page. And I think it's going to just that much, and taking your branding quiz. And if you have not already created your avatar, you're going to have extra homework to create your avatar. And we do have a coach call. We have 2 coach calls actually on creating your avatar, because you're going to want to know who you're speaking to. That is going to be sort of like the homework and call to action for this week. And then next week, I'm going to go into the top 10 things you should do to get more engagement, the top 5 biggest mistakes of what not to do. And then we're going to start talking about storytelling as I start to dig in deeper more with that. So I'm super excited. I think we're going to have a lot of great content the rest of this month on this that's really going to be beneficial to you guys, to actually growing your business and getting ready for the new year as well. So things that you want to be thinking about as you start to create your first few posts is being authentically you. And these are the 3 things that we know we need to do. Is we know that we want people to know, like, and trust us. So you have to be sharing personal stuff that people are going to get to know who you are. They are going to like who you are, and eventually they're going to trust you when they come to you for advice or when you put something out there. And the 3 things that you want to do is you want to inform people, you want to educate people, and you want to entertain people. And I always thought entertaining meant I had to like jump up and do tricks and joke and laugh and be funny. And I'm not I am innately, but it's hard for me to figure out how to share that on social media sometimes. And yes, you do want to have humor. You want people to have humor when they come to your page every once in a while. But entertaining can also just be telling your story. Entertaining people by who you are and sharing stuff about your life. So informing them, educating them, providing value, giving, having that mindset of like, I can't give enough. Like, I'm just going to give and give and give and give and give. And that, it's bountiful. There's plenty of people to help, and we can't give enough. And you want to share enough value that people are going to want to come back for more. Would you want to come back for more? Would you want to visit your page? So be asking yourself those questions as you post. We're going to get kicked off here, and I'm going to let you guys go with your night. If you have any questions, I'll post the replay, and you can post the questions below that. And certainly the call to actions when you get them done, and invite us to like your pages. I'm excited. Yay. All right. Have a great night, you guys. Thanks for hopping on. Bye.